everybody. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 5th. So today you have a second homework assignment due, and you also have quiz 1. So quiz 1 will be based on your homework 1 and homework 2. Okay, everybody? So your quiz, go to the canvas, and then you can click quizzes. Then you can see the first quiz. Okay, so let's preview the quiz. Are you able to see the quiz right in canvas? Okay, so this is the quiz 1. You click that, and then it will download the quiz 1. You can look at the problems and then write your answer on the paper. After you finish, take a picture. By the way, your homework, you just fill in the final answer, right? But the quiz, you need to show all your work because I will grade your quiz. I will imagine it's like your exams, right? I give partial credit and I see how many steps. Okay, so yeah, write out the detail for your quiz. And if you only have one page, you take a picture, then you can submit the one image. But if you have more than one page, please email yourself the picture, and then do you have Word documents? You can copy and paste the picture and then save as a PDF. So file, save as a PDF. Okay, so if you have more than one page, then save as a PDF because you can only upload one file. Is that clear, everybody? Okay, so please do the quiz before midnight. And right now I set the unlimited attempt. And it's 30 minutes. If you need more time or something happened, your internet connection was not stable, feel free to open the second attempt right away. Okay? But if you use more than one attempt for the quiz, please email me. Maybe just tell me, oh, my time ran out or my internet is not stable. So I just want to know what's happening. Okay? But it's okay that you submit a second attempt. Okay, that's the quiz. All right. So my setting is due midnight. Your setting is due 2 a.m., right? Yeah. Okay. So make sure you do the quiz. So on our website, I have finished making the practice exam 1 to 4. I still need to make the practice final exams. But when you click the practice exams, I want to give you a feeling what your exam look like. But I intentionally want to make the practice exam harder and has more problems than your actual exams. So your actual exams hopefully will be easier, but I don't guarantee. Maybe I think it's easier. You don't agree. So, but your actual exam will have less problems than the practice exam. The practice exam you see, 6 pages, a lot. The actual exam will have less than that. Okay, but I read my student comments. My students, they told me that they want to have a hard practice exam and then an easier exam rather than have an easy practice exam and hard actual exams. So I think, okay, that makes sense. I try to make the problem harder on the practice exams. Okay, and I'm also working on making the concept map to help you to summarize and link the concept in the same chapter. I already make chapter 7. I just need to go to the library and print out the color paper for you. So I will print those concept map for you next class. Okay, so I will make the concept map for all the chapters. All right, so let's continue with our worksheet. So last time we talked about how to compute area between two curves. Yeah, do you still remember? We draw the xy plane, and then those two curves, we plus some integer point, and connect them smoothly. Or we can set up system of equation to find the intersection points. Do you still remember? But sometimes sometimes depends on the function. Maybe setting up a system is hard. So I would suggest you plot points first. Okay, if you can get the integer point and get the intersection point, then then you can figure it out. The area, look at the x, it goes from where to where, and then use the upper function minus the lower function. Is that okay, everybody? Today, applications to business, consumer, and producer surplus. Okay, so have you taken any business class, the demand curve and the supply curve? So Q is the quantity and P is the price. So the demand curve is decreasing. Lower prices are associated with higher quantity demand. Higher prices are associated with lower quantity demands. If the price is high, do you want to buy it? Let's see. Okay, the quantity. Yeah, if price is high and the quantity is small, we don't want to buy it, so expensive. If the price is low, then we want to buy more, right? And the supply curve is increasing. Lower prices are associated with lower supply, and higher prices are associated with higher quantity supply. So the demand curve is decreasing, and the supply curve is increasing. Okay, the point where the demand and supply curve cross is called the equilibrium point. So we find the intersection point. This is the equilibrium point. So we call the Q is like Q star. Okay, it stands for this point, and the price is P star. Okay, suppose that the price is set at equilibrium price. Right here, this is the equilibrium price. So the quantity demand equals to the quantity supply, they intersect. The supply curve and the demand curve intersect. The quantity is the same. Okay, let's look at the left part. On the left part of the equilibrium point, the consumer on the left would have been willing to pay a higher price than they end up having to pay. So the equilibrium price saved them money. So imagine we're right here. Okay, so on the left. So example can help us understand better. So, for example, let's say we want to sell like computers. For the first computer, consumer is willing to pay, let's say the first computer, the consumer willing to pay $1,000. Because there's only one, right? We spend more money to buy the first one. So that's $1,000. And if the price is here, the consumer only need to pay $500. You're willing to pay $1,000, but you actually only need to pay $500. You kind of save $500. Do you agree? Yeah, so save $500. And so that is the consumer save money. They're willing to buy at that price, higher price, but they actually just need to pay $500. So they save money. Okay. And how about the producer? The producer on the left would have been willing to supply the first computer at a price of $100, but they actually sell them at $500. So therefore, the supply, producer is willing to sell at 100. They actually sell them at 500. So the producer actually earned 400 extra. Right, everybody? So both of these groups end up with the extra cash in their pockets. So they're happy. They earn more than they think. So consumer surplus represents the total money consumers save because the market price is lower than what they're willing to pay. So consumer surplus is this area. Okay, that's the attendance line. Okay, so 4-week Monday. Thank you. So this is the area, the total money consumers save because they're willing to pay more than they actually need to pay. To save money. And the producer surplus represents the total money producer benefits from producing and selling the quantity of the goods at the market price. So this is what they sell, but this is what they actually get. So they earn money. Okay? So we have the consumer surplus in this area above the equilibrium price. And the producer surplus is this area lower than the equilibrium price. Is that clear, everybody? Look at the picture. So how do we calculate? Consumer surplus. That's the integral from 0 to this quantity is Q star. And then here we're using the demand is the upper function minus the constant function, the price star. Okay, so this is the formula. Okay, that's the area. Quantity from 0 to Q star, and then we use the upper function, the demand minus the price. How about the producer surplus, which is this area? So X goes from, the Q quantity goes from 0 to Q star. And we use the upper function, which is the price star, equilibrium price, subtract the surprise function. Okay, everybody? So that's the formula. Then the sum of them is the total gain from the trade. Okay. All right. Let's look at example. Suppose the demand for a product is given by DQ is minus 0.8Q plus 150. And the supply for the same product is given by 5.2Q. For both functions, Q is the quantity and P is the price in dollars. So let's draw a picture. Here. So the picture is kind of similar. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So we have the Q and the P. That's a 0. And demand is a decreasing function. Price is increasing function. Actually, look at the shape. Do you see the power of Q is 1? This is a linear function. So they represent lines. Lines, we have the slope intersection. The slope is negative 0.8. Negative slope means it's going down, right? And 150 is the y-intercept. In this case, okay, let's put 150 right here. Then it is a line. Let's say it's a line like that going down, right? So that is the demand function, dq. Supply function, 5.2Q, is also a line, right? With the slope is positive, so the line is increasing. And do you see any constant term here? No, it means the y-intercept is 0. So it passed through the origin. Okay, so that's the supply. Okay, there are actually lines. Now we want to find the equilibrium point. Okay, so let's find the intersection point. So part A, equilibrium point is the intersection. We have a system of equations. We have the price of the demand is negative 0.8Q plus 150. And also the price of supply is 5.2Q. So we're solving the system of equations. And because both of them equal to P, we just set them equal to each other. Yeah. So 5.2Q equals negative 0.8Q plus 150. How do you solve for Q? How do you solve for Q? Yeah, add the point AQ over. Oh, then what do you get? 6Q is 150. Yes. So divided by 6. What is Q? What is 150 over 6? Thank you, 25. Okay, so the quantity is 25. Let's also find the price. For the price, you can plug in the first equation or you can plug in the second equation. Which one is easier? The second one, yes. So plug in here. 5.2 times 25 is what? Use your calculator. 130, thank you. Okay, so the price is 130. Equilibrium point is our Q is 25 and my P is 130. That is part A. Any questions about part A? Good. Okay, let's draw it here. So connect that. So that is the equilibrium price. Now let's compute the consumer surplus. Okay, so consumer surplus right here. I just use CS for consumer surplus. Is that okay, everybody? So part B, consumer surplus is the area. Look at our quantity from where to where? 0 to 25. Yes. So 0 to 25. And then we use the upper function. Who's the upper function? The demand. The demand is negative 0.8 Q plus 150. Yeah, everybody? That's the demand. Minus the equilibrium price. What's the equilibrium price? Equilibrium price 130. Yes. So 130 is the equilibrium price. And we have DQ. Okay, everybody? Let's continue. Oh, do you see we have two constant terms? We can combine them. What's 150 minus 130? 20. Okay, let's integrate that. Minus 0.8 constant multiple stays here. What's integral of Q? Yes, good. Q squared over 2. What's integral of 20? 20Q. Yes. So this is, by the way, we evaluate from 0 to 25. Yeah, everybody? Oh, I ran out of space. Let's try. Okay. 2 and 8 can cancel. We get negative 0.4, right? Times, we plug in Q is 25. So 25 squared plus 20 times Q. Q is 25. Yes, everybody? And subtract. What happened when we plug in 0? This is all zeros, right? Okay, put this in your calculator. Negative 0.4 times 25 squared plus 20 times 25. What do you get? Thank you. 250. So this is the consumer surplus. Yeah, everybody? Okay, we still need to compute the producer surplus. Okay, producer surplus. Okay, so part C, PS, is from, what's the Q? Where to where? This area, Q from where to where? 0 to 25. And who's the upper function? Who's the upper function? The 130, the constant function, right? The 130 minus, who's the lower function? Yeah, the supply, 5.2 Q. So that's the supply. dq. Okay, what is integral of 130? 130 Q. And what's integral of 5.2 Q? 5.2 times Q square over 2. Evaluate from 0 to 25. Yes, everybody? We plug in 25. So 130 times 25 minus, can we simplify 5.2 and 2? Yeah, thank you. So 2.6 times Q is 25 squared. What happened when we plug in 0? This is all 0, right? Okay, put this in your calculator. What do you get? Thank you. So this is the producer surplus. Okay? Consumer get money, make extra money, okay? And producer get money, so they're happy. And this is the total gain from the trade. All right, everybody? Okay, good. So you see, integral calculus is useful for business. The business application. In this course, you will see a lot of different applications. Okay. All right. Everybody finished that? Okay, let's continue. So example 2, we have the demand and supply function given below. And we want to find the equilibrium point and the consumer surplus and producer surplus. So let's draw the picture. Okay. So here, you look at this. This is not a line anymore. This is a exponential function. And you look at the exponent. If the exponent is negative, the exponential function is going down, right? And if your exponent is positive, the exponential function is increasing, right? So we have the demand going down and supply going up. And then we have this equilibrium position. Draw the picture to sketch. And how do we find the equilibrium point? Okay, we need to find the intersection. Two. Yes, everybody? Because both of them is P equals, so we just set them equal to each other. We agree? Yes, substitution method, we can set them equal to each other. 0.26Q equals 29 e to the 0.036Q. So how do we solve for equations involving exponential expression? First of all, I would say combine them. Do you agree? Combine the exponential term together. I want to carry out that. So both sides I can multiply by e to the in the negative, we put positive point. So both sides multiply by, okay, let me put this color. So both sides multiply by e to the not negative anymore, is now positive 0.026 cubed. So multiply by e to the positive 0.026 cubed. Questions? Can we both sides divided by e to the negative 0.026 cubed? Yeah. You know, divided by this is the same as multiplied by e to the positive. Right, everybody? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's why on the left, you see this times this equals 1. Right? Yeah, e to the whatever a times e to the minus a is the same as e to the a minus a, which is e to the 0, which is 1. Right? So they cancel. We get just 90 on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, what do you do to the exponents? Add them together. So 0.036 plus 0.026 is 0.062 cubed. Yes, everybody? By the way, that's my 9. That's my cube. Okay. Continue. We isolate the exponential term. So we both sides divided by 29. Okay. So we have e to the 0.062 cube is 90 over 29. Okay, everybody? Yeah, exactly. After we isolate the exponential expression, apply natural log on both sides. So natural log 90 over 29 is natural log e to the 0.062 cube. And e and natural log cancel, we get 0.062 cube equals ln of 90 over 29. So therefore, Q is, so my Q, okay, is ln 90 over 29, and then divided by 0.062. Both sides divided by 0.062. Put this in your calculator. Good, everybody's here today. So this approximately equals to. So in many real life problems, we might not get like integers as our answers. So keep your answer with 3 decimal places. What do you get? Thank you, 18.266. So many real life problems we get decimals. The last problem, it's just lines, so it's easy to make integer points as equilibrium. The many real life problems, it's hard to get integers. Okay, so that's the Q. So Q is right here, 18.266. Now we can find the P. Okay, so find the P. We have 2 ways to find the P. Which way do you prefer? Top or the bottom? Up to you. Bottom one? Okay. let's use the bottom one. We have 29 e to the 0.036, and q is 18.266. So put this in your calculator. Give me 3 decimal places. What do you get? What do you get? Thank you. Good. So that's the price. So 55.973. So you can write it down on the picture. So you know that's the quantity, that's the price. Okay, now we can calculate the consumer surplus and producer surplus. So consumer surplus. CS is in a row from 0 to where? Yeah, 18.266. And we're using the demand minus the price, right, everybody? So sometimes if you want to think about, oh, what is the formula? Then you can write it down. It's the demand minus the price. What's the demand? Yeah, 90 e to the negative 0.026 cube minus, what is the price? Equilibrium price. Yeah, 55.973 d cubed. Yes, everybody? How do we integrate exponential function? Is what? What? Remember, integral e to the ax is what? 1 over a e to the x. Yeah, very good. So this one is constant multiple 90 stays here. And then e to the negative 0.026 cube divided by the, what's the coefficient of cube? Yeah, negative 0.026. And what is the integral of a constant? The constant times q, exactly. And then we evaluate from 0 to 18.266. Is that okay, everybody? All right. We keep going, so we plug in. Okay, let's plug in. We have 90 over negative 0.026. And this is e to the negative 0.026 times my q is 18.266 minus 55.973 times my q, 18.266 minus, remember, now parentheses, we plug in 0. Plug in 0. It's not always 0. Exponential function, when you plug in 0, what's e to the 0? It's actually 1, okay? But the second term is 0. Yes, polynomial, we plug in 0, that term is solid. But exponential function, when you plug in 0, e to the 0 is actually 1. So put this in your calculator. What do you get? Give me 3 decimal places.
286.
200 and then 80.
275.
275. Thank you. So 286.275. Is that okay, everybody? Now you do the producer surplus. Okay. Now your turn. What is the producer surplus? Everything but divided by the coefficient of x. You can negative number? The area should be positive. I usually type everything in one line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. 273.149. Okay, good. Let's check our answer. So on the website, okay, let's see. We're in okay, 7.5. Okay, yes. So right here. Okay, these are surplus. We use the price, so 55.974 minus the supply, 29 times e to the 0.036 dq. And this is constant, integral constant is the constant times q, and then minus 29 stays here, e to the 0.036. Q over the coefficient, 0.036. Evaluate from 0 to 18.266. And then you plug in the numbers, right? So the notes, I only keep one decimal places. But yeah, if you want to keep 3 decimal places, that is 273.149. Okay. Oops, sorry. Where is it? Okay, right here. Any questions about this problem? All good? Mm-hmm. Let's wait a little bit until everybody finish writing down the notes. E to the 0 is not 1. Can you figure out? Oh, okay. So let's continue. Next problem. Okay. Next problem. We have the demand and supply. There are different types of functions, but the idea is similar, right? You draw like that. In this case, do you see the demand is a line? So this is a line. The demand is a line. And the supply, square root. What square root look like? Yeah, like that. So let's put a square root like that. Okay. Then we have the equilibrium, price, and quantity. We find the equilibrium point. So part A, we also need to find the intersection point. Intersection point. So we want to solve the system of equation. In this case, we can set them equal to each other. Q and 9. Okay, yeah. When you write, be careful your Q and 9. You can see the difference. Okay, so how do we solve this equation? Well, it has square roots, right? We don't like square roots, so we want to get rid of the square root. So you first isolate the square root term. In this case, it's already isolated, right? Then we can square both sides to get rid of the square root term. Okay, square both sides. So 47 minus q squared. On the right hand side, the square root cancel. We have q plus 9. I hope you can see my 9 and q. Okay, so now this is a quadratic equation. So we want to simplify, make it into the general form. So this is 47 square, right? And then minus 2 times 47 plus q squared. Are you okay with the... Sorry, that's 9. We have a plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. If it's a minus b squared, it's a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So that's why we expanded 47 squared minus 2 times 47 times q. I missed the q. You see? I missed the q. I have a q here. Plus q squared equals q plus 9. All right. What is 47 squared? Thank you. What is 2 times 47? 94q plus q squared equals q plus 9. So we move the q to the other side. So it's like subtract q, subtract q. We also move the 9 to the other side. So subtract 9 on both sides. Can we reorder it from the highest power to the lowest power? Yeah? Then it's q squared. How many q? Minus 95q. And what's the constant term? 2200. Is that okay, everybody? Oh, is it 2000? Oh, okay. All right. So here we can factor them, right? It turns out that we are able to factor them, and they're good numbers. So Q and Q.
It's 94Q, right?
Oh, and then you subtract Q.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it turns out the number are 40, negative 40, and negative 55. So negative 40 times negative 55 is 2200. And then you see negative 55 plus negative 40 is negative 95. So this is how we factor it. We get Q is either Q minus 40 is 0 or Q minus 55 is 0. In this case, Q is 40 or Q is 55. Is that okay, everybody? But be careful. Remember here, you have your demand and your supply. Okay. You have your demand and your supply. The quantity and the price should always be positive. Okay? So, sorry, something wrong with my word. Okay. So that is your demand and supply. But if you plug in 47 minus 40 is 7 is still positive, right? But the problem is if you plug in 55, what happens? 47 minus 55 is negative. Can your price be negative? What does that mean? If price is positive, oh, I give you money. It's negative. Do you give me money? No such thing. So price cannot be negative. So we don't consider this because the demand, okay, Q will be negative if we plug in. So that's the price. And price cannot be negative. Okay, so therefore, this is not a solution. So Q is 40. Then what is the price? Yeah, 47 minus 40 is 7. So the Q is 40 and the P is 7. Okay? So we figure out the equilibrium point. And because we don't have enough time, how about let's continue on Wednesday? Yeah. Remember to take the quiz by midnight. Okay. Save that.